Hello YouTube, this is Omagent here, bringing you a 1 to 20 tutorial for the DLC Zombies map, Die Rise in Black Ops 2, explaining the strategy that I use to get started and to get to round 20. I know a lot of people say that Die Rise is a relatively hard map, so this is just the strategy I use to get through it as simply as possible. So, start off in the starting room, surprisingly enough, and for rounds 1 to 2, I usually just stay in the starting room and shoot and knife the zombies to build as many points as possible. I don't leave the area until round 2, and just to minimise their spawn points to get over and done with quicker. So round 1, 1 knife kills the zombie, and then for the army one's 4 shots from the pistol and then 1 knife, and in round 2 8 shots and 1 knife. Usually get the max points regardless of the type of zombie. So after round 2, open the 2 750 point doors. Don't go down the escalator, that puts you into too much trouble too quickly in my opinion. Buy the PDW and also quick revive when you can afford it. After this, you should hold out in the area where the nav card spawns for rounds 3 to 4. Just use the PDW and any pistol ammo you have left to build up as many points as possible. Once round 4 is almost finished, leave a zombie and head back up to the starting room. You should buy the Olympia shotgun because this will come in useful later, and then head left down the busted staircase. Run through this whole area here past the Dragunov SVU and down the slide to the area where the random box is. This is the area you're going to be holding out in next. You should hold out here until you have 6,000 points before you move on to the next spot. Now, this area is quite simple to hold off with for regular zombie rounds. There's only 3 possible ways they can come in: 2 windows and the sort of area where they mantle up. It gets a bit more complicated if you get a parkour zombie round in between when you get here and when you earn the 6,000 points, because they might arrive before you do. If so, just go to this point here and use the Olympia shotgun to kill them as they mantle over this area. This is where they move very slowly and are therefore the easiest to hit. However, remember they can come from other ways as well, so don't get too confident in pointing your gun into one spot. You'll get a free perk from these guys if you attain 100% accuracy, so aim your shots carefully and make sure that each one hits them and you'll get a free perk. If you get lucky and get something like Speed Cola or Juggernaut, you get unlucky and get something like Mule Kick, which isn't that helpful. When you're building the points to get the 6,000, if you run out of ammo with your PDW, swap it out for a weapon in the box. Only use this as a last resort because you want to avoid the box during the first few rounds, just because the wall guns are so good. You don't really want to waste your points gambling for something and end up with a sniper or a ballistic knife. When you're in the 6,000 points, go down the elevator shaft, stopping off only to buy the Galvan Knuckles as you go. These will be incredibly useful, and although 6,000 points makes them a pretty expensive buy, they will earn you 2 to 3 times that amount because you've bought them at a very low round. Also, when you get to the bottom, if you have any spare cash left, I'd recommend buying the AN-94 assault rifle off the wall. This is the best wall gun in the game. Good damage and huge ammunition capacity. However, rate of fire is a bit low, so we'll have to sort that out later. But for the next few rounds, you want to melee the zombies to earn as many points as possible, because meleeing zombies earns a lot more points than shooting them. And continue to progress through the map, going and buying the 750 point debris here, moving through what's known as the Buddha room, jumping over the spot. When you're jumping over the pole, make sure to do a strafe jump to, run and then jump just as you get to the edge. This will allow you to skip an area before you get to the power. But as you can see, if you fall down there, you have to spend more points opening doors and stuff to get to the power if you get to the top. So try and get to the top, buy the 2 doors to get to the power and turn it on. Now once the power is turned on, you want to get out of the power room as soon as possible. It's not that good of a defensive point. Zombies can come at you from about 5 or 6 different directions in this spot. So go and retrace your steps, move into this spot here. This is a good defensive spot because you can channel the zombies to only come at you from one direction, and there's also a 750 point door behind you that you can buy to get out of there as soon as possible if you're in an emergency. Now that you've got the power on, your first priority now should be to buy Juggernaut. Hopefully you'll be using the permanent jog ability, but if you don't, you know, you're going to be using it around 15 anyway, so you want to boost your health as much as possible. So in between rounds, or when you feel safe, go out from your defensive spot and look at the 3 elevators that are in the power area, to check if any of them have Juggernog. There's only 4 in this building, and one of them will be Juggernog, so you've got a good chance of getting. Now, if you had to go up to the rooftop to buy Juggernog, your next step will be to defend yourself on the rooftops until you have enough points to go back down. The best area here is where the nav card table is built. There's a wide area so you can dodge some zombies that get too close. There's only one window for you to defend apart, and zombies rarely come to that window. It's a low traffic window. Most of the zombies will be coming out the front, giving you ample room to stab them or punch them, as the case may be. Now you'll be wanting to hold out in these 2 camping spots. Now that you've got Juggernog, your new priorities are to pack up onto the AN-94 to increase its damage and make it a truly awesome weapon. Buying double tap to increase the rate of fire on the AN-94, and also it improves ammo efficiency. You should also buy claymores because these will help you in the Parker zombie rounds to come, and when you get back down into the power area, or not if you'd stayed there all the time, to build and equip the Sliquifier. Its parts are scattered all over the power area, and the spots where the parts spawn are randomized with each game. So basically just look around for the 4 parts that you can see me getting here. To build the Sliquifier, trade out your PDW fort, and comes in when you're collecting the various items you'll need to survive into the later rounds, and use a combination of the Galvan Knuckles and the Claymores. Avoid using guns at this point because even though you can use guns to get 100% accuracy, it's better to be safe than sorry. Meleeing is a 1-hit kill up to right round 19 on them, and Claymores are a 1-hit kill up until round 69, I believe. So it's always good to use this combination as it's very effective against them, and get even more free perks. When you've gotten all of the tools you'll need to survive into the later rounds, move back to the spawn building. If you have any free perk slots from after buying Juggernog and double tapping your free perks, buy Speed Cola, as this definitely helps you out quite a bit. If you want to build this trample steam, more power to you. It's a good tool to survive, but using the elevators to go up and down is a bit time consuming for me, so I rarely bother with it. And we just continue to move to the random box area. Now, as we know, the random box area is a good defense point. It only has 3 entry points to it, and you can easily funnel the zombies here. Now that you're here, start using the random box. Personally, I wouldn't use the random box until I've got Mule Kick, because the N94 Pack-a-Punch and the Sliquifier are about the 2 best guns in Die Rise. But you know, if you want to trade up for a light machine gun or a ray gun or something else that you prefer, go for it. So continue to use the random box and hold out in that area to build up the points to continue to use it until you've gotten the weapons that you want. Then move through the map again using the route that you used earlier in the map to go back to whatever elevator shaft the Pack-a-Punch machine is in. Pack-a-Punch the weapons that you want to use. Just a small point here, you can't Pack-a-Punch the Sliquifier, so don't try and save up points for that. It's not worth it. So once you've got your ideal inventory of 3 weapons, there's a variety of areas across the map that you can defend into the later rounds. My personal favourites would be the nav card area that I mentioned earlier. Wide open space, zombies can only really come at you from 2 directions, and very few come from one of them. Open space to dodge a few zombies if you need to, and you can see what's coming. Second option is the power room area. If you haven't bought the emergency exit door, this is still a good spot to hold out in. Your sight lines are a bit short, so it might be difficult to hold out here until later rounds, but it's still a viable area. Another area is the booter room in the section of the building that's upside down. This is mostly for people who like to use the training strategy in zombies. I prefer camping. There's a lot of this is probably the most open part of the maps, and it has a lot of opportunities to concentrate the zombies into tight groups to improve efficiency when you're training. And its proximity to the AN-94 to buy more ammo is also an attractive option. The last possible place you could hold out is the Galvanock room. While you're in this area, zombies only ever come from the one spawn point. Strategy that a lot of people, including me, have used is to use the liquefier to just hammer them as they come out of the spawn point. One maggot of the liquefier can last you whole rounds, and people have used it to go up to very high rounds very quickly. As far as I'm aware, Treyarch are going to be patching this soon, possibly adding more spawn points to remove the attractiveness of this area, but as of this moment it's probably one of the best parts on the map to hold out. Zombies only come at you from one direction, and there's always the shaft if you need to escape when you've been overwhelmed. Continue to hold out here for as long as you want. You're only really leaving these areas to get more ammo. This is the best way that I've found to survive in Die Rise, and this has been Omagent. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.